Morning friends, welcome back to another vlog. Today, I realized in my last video, I told you guys about some things around here that I never thought would happen, like I never predicted ever happening, such as myself researching and understanding roofing and putting a roof on a house, even if it is just like an office shed roof. But the other thing is that I wanted to show you with the kids. So I'm going to put that in today's video because I completely forgot in the last one. So I apologize for that, but it's one of the most hilarious and cute and funny and just, I don't know, adorable, heartwarming things that I've ever seen. So I'll include that in today's video. Also, we have, the electrician is coming out today to find out about how to run and where to run, the best way to run electricity to my office shed office thingy. Like I said, because it is that tongue and groove and the way it's put together, there's obviously not like a wall with insulation and sheetrock and all of that. So that's normally you would run electrical behind that. Because that's not the situation here and I don't want a bunch of exposed wires, we have an electrician coming out to figure out the best way to do that, because I obviously want to be able to run a light fixture at the top. And then also I need to be able to plug in a whole bunch of stuff. So there is space in the floor before we put the flooring in. So I'm gonna see if there's a way that he can put the outlets like in the floor. Then I'm also gonna show you guys the fencing. So, I'd said before that my mom and I were gonna paint the fencing in the front, the new fencing section that got put up, phase 1, if you recall, of the fencing. And there's this little feller, I'm gonna call him a little feller. He stopped by when we first moved in and came up and gave us like his little business card and was like, hey, I do, fence repair and blah, 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 and painting fences. And so we said, oh, we'll give you a call, at some point. Well, after this fencing got done, he just popped by again one day and, came up and said, hey, I'll paint that new fencing for you guys. And I think he said I think it was 40 cents per linear foot. And to be honest, I just kind of sat there and thought, without the proper equipment, like he has like the real like big expensive paint sprayers and stuff like that. And I thought he said he could get it done in one day. And I was like, there is no way my mom and I would ever get this done in less than 3 or 4 days, juggling the kids and everything. And for what he was charging at 40 cents a linear foot, I think it was going to be like 450 or 500 bucks. And I was like, that makes way more sense. Rather than me, and I believe that included the paint. So that made way more sense than me going out and buying the paint and all of the work to get that painted. So it was him, and I believe his son and his grandson came out and they had the big drum of paint in the back of their truck, and they just drove along as they stopped and sprayed and drove around and sprayed the whole fencing they ended up working half a day and half a day, so it was a day total of work. And they did a great job. I had a few little concerns before they started, that I wanted to make sure they did a certain way, and they totally did exactly what we asked. So I'm really pleased with that. So that means that all the front fencing is black. You might have noticed it in the last video, but I forgot to say anything about it.
You see what I've been telling you. It's nothing like it seems. It's what I've been telling you. Oh, you'd learn what I mean if you came. But the risk, are you willing to take?
the girls are doing a deep clean of the barn here. So they're pulling everything out and getting it all cleaned out.
Oh wow, that one pops off.
Oh, that just broke.
So basically we'll just need to get a new OSB board and have that thing reupholstered. Maybe your mom can use that same leather and reupholster it.
So they've got their first load of barn hay in here. Taken down to the dumping spot.
What are you doing, sir? Auntie?
Okay, he has the keys. Benjamin?
He says, let's go.
Mommy?
What I've been telling you. Oh, it's what I've been telling you. Oh, it's what I've been telling you.
So really the only thing left to do outside in terms of that pasture is we have to fill in the holes because the fence line used to run sort of like there was a fence line that cut it in half into two pastures. Now we made it into one big one. So we just need to fill in the holes from where we pulled out those posts. And that's what that trailer bed is like, this clay dirt stuff that we're using, sand combo, to fill in those holes so that the horses don't step in them and break their legs. So we got to finish filling in that, and then we're actually going to run the electric fence and split that pasture again, just temporarily, so that we can move horses to have this upper pasture done. It's just kind of like a little game of like hot potato, tossing the horses around to different pastures to get them like in a safe, squared away place while we're doing fencing on another area. So I believe fencing on that pasture will start this coming week, and so we've got to get this one done so that we can get that split and the horses moved over there. So that this whole top part is open mostly for us to work on fencing and get the grading done for the arena and the barns and all of that kind of stuff. So of course, in order to do that, we're going to have to find someone to actually do the grading work, because turns out we don't know how and we don't have the proper equipment. So we try to do as much as we can ourselves, but there are a lot of things that either we don't have the equipment to do, or the know-how, or the, again, like we talked about in the last video, the difference between done and perfect, right? Well, some things, for example, grading and leveling and pouring concrete for a structure, that's not something that can be done improperly. Like, good enough isn't good enough in that instance. So we have to make sure that that is done correctly. So it's not something we can just hobble together ourselves. All right, I just got done filming the grocery order for a meal plan grocery haul video that'll be going up on my personal channel next week. But tonight we're gonna be making the NOLA pockets that I think I've told you guys about a couple times that CR makes that are so delicious. They're sort of like a mini low country boil, like a personal sized, if you will, like a personal sized low country boil, individual packets. I feel like I've showed it before, I can't remember, but they're really delicious, and I don't even eat half of the things that are in them. I only eat, it's got like sausage and corn and shrimp and onions and potatoes and all that kind of stuff, and I don't eat the corn or the shrimp because I would like to stay out of the emergency room. So if you've seen Hitch, that's basically what happened to me. Have I ever told you guys this story? That I was on a first date. Let's just pause for an Angie story real quick in here. I'll be fast. I was on a first date with this guy. I'm trying to remember how old he was. I think he was probably like 10 years older than me. I don't think, maybe not quite that. I don't think he was over 30. The point is, he asked me out, and the date was to his house and again, this is years and years ago. I don't think now, if it was like in my Angie brain now would I ever go to someone's house for a first date, but I did. You know, the dumb things we do and we look back on and go, glad I lived through that and didn't end up in pieces somewhere. But he was gonna cook for me, and he didn't ask me ahead of time if I had any food allergies, and so I didn't think to tell him. And I got to his house and he had made lobster tail and something else. And I had never had lobster tail, but I knew I was allergic to shrimp. But to be honest, between being very nervous and like feeling, just kind of feeling insecure because I was young, like I knew that I was young, and he was felt at that time especially like so much older than me. I don't know, I just was embarrassed and I wasn't sure. Like in my brain, I didn't connect the dots that I probably couldn't have lobster tail either, so I ate it. After we finished eating, we go sit in the living room to just chat and talk. And he was very nice. He was a total gentleman and everything. He was very nice. And he brings out his guitar to start playing music and singing. And I remember feeling like on the inside, just cringing, like, this is too much, buddy. This is cheesy. This is too much. But while he's talking and I'm cringing on the inside, all of a sudden I'm like, you know when you start to itch the back of your throat with your tongue? And he kind of is like looking at me and started kind of like rubbing my eyes a little bit, trying not to rub all my makeup all over my face. And he's fine. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. And I'm realizing like it's getting harder and harder to swallow as we're talking. I'm like, oh. So finally he's like, really, are you sure you're okay? And I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna use the restroom. So I go to the like guest bath in the hall, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, I'm having an allergic reaction. So I go right back out and I'm like, I gotta go. I don't even remember what I said to him. I'm sure I said thank you, but I basically like busted out of there as fast as possible to rush home. And again, Angie now probably would have gone directly to the hospital and been like, I'm having an allergic reaction, but I just went home to my mommy because I was like, Mommy! I went home to where my mommy was, and like, I'm pretty sure I just guzzled, because at the time, Savannah, my little sister, she was 13 years younger than me, so she was only like 6. So we had like children's Benadryl and a thing that was like a liquid, and I'm pretty sure I just guzzled children's Benadryl. I didn't measure it, I just guzzled it. By the time I got home, my eyes were kind of like slits, and I felt like, I don't want to say it was like swelling closed, but it was definitely like really itching, and my eyes were swelling and stuff. So I gargled, or like basically gargled with Benadryl. I don't think that I have to tell you that there was no second date. I don't think he ever called me again. It's hard to recollect now, being that that was 15 years ago, or 16 or 17. No, that was like 16, 17 years ago. It's hard to recollect. I can tell you for sure we didn't go on a second date, but I don't know if he ever reached out to me again, or if we ever even talked again. And you know, he was a nice guy. The guitar was a little much for me, and I'm sure that me looking like Hitch was not something that he was like super attracted to. Probably thought, that's what I get for giving this young girl a chance. I should just date girls my own age, which he probably should have. So anyways, that's my weird date story that I don't know if I've ever told you guys or not. So I won't be eating the shrimp in tonight's dinner. That's the moral of the story.
Ah, yes. That's the sun. I've missed you. The sun, that is. I've missed the sun. But today's been a productive day on the farm. Papa and JJ, I'm not sure if you can see them out there in the field. Maybe. They're filling in old post holes with dirt and sand. That's where our fence line for that pasture used to be, and we can't put the horses back in there until we fill in the holes. Otherwise they break legs and it's not very fun. In the meantime, the oldest girls have been going ham on the barnyard. I mean, full on clean out, everything. And they're doing a great job. It smells, it doesn't smell like pee anymore. That's fantastic. Looks good. We've got some lime on the floors. Lime on the floors helps clean it and make it smell nice. All the fun stuff. I need to go get some straw, so that's where I'm gonna take you guys. There's a place around the corner up here that we get all of our hay, and some of our feed, and our straw from. So I'm gonna get out of here go get the straw so the girls can finish up their job. On the way down, I'm gonna take a look at a portion of the pasture where I laid some gravel in order to get a dumpster out of this pasture. It's just been one of those days, little knick-knacky things all over the farm. A little bit later on, maybe me and Papa will, Papa, you guys can all start calling him Papa too. We're gonna start getting to work on the roof of that bad boy. Casa de Office. I don't know if that's a thing. If it is, I stole it. So yeah, that's the plan. Az, you staying here? You hold it down for me? All right, good talk. Oh, the good news about having Papa here helping out is that I get to borrow his truck to go get the straw. I don't have to load that stuff into the back of the van. You admiring your work?
Trying to calculate, I think we're at 14 or 15 sheets of plywood.
That sounds about right. What are you thinking? You laying them horizontal or vertical? I see what you're saying. So in essence, we could use one. Wide did we say the unit was? Like 19?
It's 225 inches.
Carry the 3 ... to the 10th power. Over. All right, we're all strawed up. I'm gonna lug this over to the barnyard, or I should say Papa is. He just likes playing with it, with the toys. And then we'll get the girls on getting the bedding down for the llamas and the goats. Another day. Check out my little daredevils here. Boys built a ramp. So they've been flying through here on their bikes, and I hesitate to say jump because they just kind of flop off one side of it, but they're having a ball.
What you doing?
Coloring.
Coloring?
Mama.
Mama?
Daddy.
Daddy?
Mama.
Mama?
Mama.
Papa?
Papa.
Grandma?
Mama.
Kennedy?
Daddy.
Ninny?
Daddy.
Shelby?
Daddy.
Good job. Where's Papa?
Daddy.
Okay, can you say bye-bye?
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Benji. Benji. Can you say bye-bye? Benji. Can you say bye-bye?
Daddy.
Later. Say see you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I don't want to forget again either. So, the thing about the kids. I'm gonna just cut to footage because I feel like this vlog is gonna be a whole lot of me talking. You guys know that she taught the pigs, when she first got them, she kept telling me how they could be trained to do all these tricks and stuff. When she first got them, she taught Eliza, the black one, how to sit, stand up, spin. Shelby taught Ruthie to play the piano for her part of her talent show this year. And I thought, you know, I'm pretty just dang impressed. Well then, Ruthie, who's like the little like brownish colored one, she really just was not taking to doing like the sit up, all that kind of stuff. She didn't really care for it. She didn't really care to do it. And so Shelby tells me that she's gonna start doing like obstacle course, like agility course stuff with the pigs. And I'm thinking, okay, Eliza is just getting fatter every day. That pig is just, she's a hog. I'm like, I do not know how that pig's gonna jump anything. Ruthie is a smaller, like her build and everything is smaller. And so anyways, the point of it is I, to be honest, doubted whether or not that this would ever actually like happen or anything. And so they're telling me they're doing all this. I had never seen him do it. And then one day my mom comes in and she's like, have you seen Ruthie jumping the jumps? And I was like, she jumps? And she's like, yes. And she pulls out her phone, and they had been working on it up over by my parents' camper area, so you can't see it from the house. And the girls are always outside with like some harebrained scheme, doing something, especially Shelby, like working on some kind of training thing with the animals or whatever. So I couldn't believe it. I was shocked when I saw it. And when I watched the footage back and everything, I was like, are you kidding me? These children have trained the pigs to do agility courses like you would a dog. It's pretty darn cute. And I just have to say how proud I am of them on all of the things that, you know, they kept telling me before they got these animals that I just thought, like, you know how kids are. They want something and then they get it and then they get bored of it really quickly. And I was afraid that that was gonna happen with the animals, with the bunnies and with the pigs. I just figured, especially once the pigs moved outside, I kind of figured Shelby would probably just forget about them and they'll just be out there. So that's why every animal we've added, I've done so with the knowledge that this could end up becoming like my animal, my responsibility. So anyways, I've just been so impressed and proud of the girls and how they've taken care of their animals and how they continue to learn more about them and how to care for them better. And it's just, I don't know, I'm really proud of them, because I feel like I was like such a flaky preteen kind of kid that would have I would have been the kid to get bored with something really quick like that and then just be like, well, whatever. But I'm just really proud of them because they've worked really hard. That is life around here though. You know, I feel like on one hand, I'm like, oh, my weirdness is rubbing off on them. And then on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, my weirdness is rubbing off on them.
Oh, this is not yours. Hey. Hello. Yes, we're gonna make some dinner. We are making one of my favorites. It's kind of it's a low country boil hack. All right, I don't have a giant pot out in the backyard. I can't just throw crawfish from the riverbed in there. So we got some shrimp, we've got some corn, we've got some parsley, we've got some potatoes, we've got some sausage, we got some rice. I'm excited. This is delicious. Everybody loves it, huh, Rio? It's good. She's the boss. All right, crew, we are all prepped up. Took about 30 minutes, but we got our potatoes, our sausage, our corn. We got JJ catching bugs. We've got some parsley. I'm gonna make some rice as a side dish. Here we go, and then our seasonings. I use like a little Creole seasoning. I mean, just, guys, it's tasty. Garlic powder, salt, pepper, Irish butter.
It's white.
It is, this is the shrimp. It's not cooked yet. This is what it looks like when it's uncooked. Let's get to work.
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, your heart is a sun and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun and it shines as it opens.
I chopped up some parsley. I'm gonna sprinkle it over the top. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder, maybe a little bit more seasoning. I'm just gonna drop these foil pouches right on the plate with some rice, and we're gonna call it a day. With that said, my crew's hungry. We're wrapping this up. We'll see you guys later.
And they sing with the mountains.
Where your bones are the earth and they sing with the mountain.
Yeah, your bones are the earth and they sing with the mountains.
Where your bones are the earth